Well, good evening, everyone. We have this lone thunderstorm that wants to misbehave a little bit in Dallas Fort Worth. Just want to give everybody a quick update on that and what we can expect the rest of the night and tomorrow and Friday and all that good stuff. So let's just get right to it. So, number one, this storm is not severe. This is a thunderstorm that's kind of popped up. It started in southwest Dallas County. It's moving northeast just southeast of downtown Dallas. You see a little purple there, a little hail core in it. The biggest report I've seen on the ground is pea size. It could contain up to nickel size hail. It hasn't seemed to want to get any bigger than that, so that's good. I'm not really anticipating it being, anything severe, although that's not totally out of the question. It's just that if you happen to live, especially in Rockwall County, I would say the northern part of Kaufman County, southeastern Collin County, so that would be, matter of fact, I'll just draw it here. So I would say if you live anywhere, in this general area, and that's really ugly looking, but you kind of get the idea. So it's something that just want to keep an eye on. It's nothing that would be severe, not likely, although that's not totally out of the question, like I said. But if you happen to get this thunderstorm, you might see some small hail. So nothing to be too terribly concerned about, but just wanted to kind of come on, talk about that storm, and wrap everything up for the night because thankfully we won't see shouldn't see a whole lot more tonight, although there's a small chance, so we'll talk about that. So we'll put this in motion here and kind of give you, I'll zoom out of here a little bit. So you can kind of get an evolution of how this storm has popped up. We had this a lot of anvil rain here and before that, and then the storm kind of popped out of that, which is not terribly uncommon. It does happen sometimes, but as you can see, it's moving northeast. And again, let's stop this. And we had a special weather statement. There it is. So nickel size hail moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. So if we put a tracker on the hail core, which we'll take it like this, we'll get it on up into southeastern Collin County and 30 miles an hour. So Sunnyvale in the next 20 minutes. Rowlett maybe in the next 30 minutes. Heath 31. Rockwall 40 minutes. That might be a little slow. But I think if you live anywhere within that cone area, then, might see some small hail. Hello, Kara. Hope you're feeling better, by the way. Is it moving toward us? Of course, I think if you mean us, you mean Saxe. So, not really. Although, let me zoom in here a little bit. It does, within this cone, it could clip the very southeastern part of Saxe, but for the most part, no, unless it starts to take a more northwest turn. I don't see that happening. And even if it did, unless the storm really ramps up, it's something that's just not going to be too terribly concerning. Although, as I mentioned in the last update when things were still going, we still have an unstable atmosphere above our stable surface layer, our cool air. So that's why we get this potential for hail as opposed to tornadoes. There's no threat of tornadoes at all for our area. Hello, Misty. How you doing? I'm going to focus on your area, Misty, in just a second. I want to give you an idea what the radar looks like. But like I told you earlier, we're not looking too bad. Unless this storm really ramps up, I just don't see it being a big issue. I did want to just let people know that, especially if you're in, we'll zoom out here a little bit. Again, especially if you're in Rockwall County, the far northeastern part of Dallas County, the southeastern part of Collin County, just watch it. And I hope you don't get any hail, but if you heard some hail, some nickel-sized hail, just don't be shocked. All right, so let's go look at the bigger picture here. So, if you live in far East Texas, if you're watching, if you have relatives out that way, just good old-fashioned rain. That's good. Been kind of dry, so there's nothing wrong with that. So the tornado watch that's still in effect until 10 o'clock has been shaved back a little bit. So it did include the counties just south of Dallas-Fort Worth, Johnson, and Ellis. They have been dropped. They still have a tornado watch for Navarro, Henderson, Anderson, those counties. However, I would think, of course, we're just about an hour away from it expiring anyway, so I don't know if the National Weather Service will do anything with it. I wouldn't be shocked if they shaved a couple more counties off, but it's getting close to expiration anyway, so they may not do that. But it is the good news is most of these severe storms, as you can tell by the yellow boxes, which represent severe thunderstorm warnings, most of those are well south of Dallas-Fort Worth, really south of Waco. So you're talking Killeen, Temple, Centerville, Marlin, Crockett, north of Austin, north of College Station, in those areas. But those storms, as you can see, kind of highlight them. We have these individual supercells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe even 6. So, yeah, it's a real deal down there. Matter of fact, I don't like that red anymore. I'm going to change that to blue. But anyway, so if we put this in motion, not heading north for the most part, just falling east. And remember, I talked about this earlier. The effective warm front has been pushed way south. As I was talking about, it's way further south than we thought, and that's what saved Dallas-Fort Worth from a lot of bad weather today. Hey, Shanda, as long as College Station is safe, yes, for more reasons than one, my alma mater. So let's look at College Station real quick. So there's College Station. Let's put this in motion again. So just had a new severe thunderstorm warning for Leon County. But again, nothing, threatening at the moment. However, I would say that if you have kiddos in College Station, then my alma mater, of course, you see this line here. I think over time, you'll start to see the line gradually go that way. And so, probably after 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I think College Station and they will see some rough weather. I don't know. It's going to be, the roughest of the rough. But, just something to bear watching. So I would say if you got kiddos down there, just maybe want to give them a heads up and say, hey, 10 o'clock-ish, 11 o'clock-ish. Just keep an eye on things. I just would say that, and nothing to be terribly concerned about unless something really changes. And as the evening goes on, we're the atmosphere won't be quite as unstable, so that will help as well. Okay, so I'm sorry, Misty, I skipped right over you, so let's go back over to you. All right, so let's focus on Misty here. Misty's my really good friend from Garland High School, Giga Miles. All right, so anyway, Misty, you can kind of see, I won't point exactly where you're at, but you know where you're at. And so, like I said, just good old-fashioned thunderstorms, nothing to be too concerned about in your neck of the woods. And we were talking, through text, we were talking about rotation. And so, yeah, that's the velocity layer on the radar. No circulations at all whatsoever. So that's good news there. So you don't really have to worry about that, and I don't think you'll have to worry about that the rest of the night. So again, if we put this in motion, you're going to see a general movement toward the east. Some of these individual cells are going to move northeast. Some of the lines are going to move east, and some of the cells on the southern part of this are going to move more east southeast. So that's what you're looking at there. Shonda, she's on the second floor. No covered parking. I'm not laughing about the no covered parking. I didn't have covered parking when I was there either. So in all seriousness though, Shonda, yes, there's a chance for hail that they would see later on. But again, I don't think you're going to see the hail we saw earlier, which was, the baseball and tennis ball size. I don't think you're going to see anything like that. But, they definitely have a chance to see some hail later. But hopefully, again, as we go through the evening and closer to 10 o'clock, it'll die down even more. So, again, nothing to be overly concerned about. But, again, wouldn't hurt to just give a little heads up and say, hey, just make sure you're aware of the weather. And you're welcome, Shonda, anytime. That's what I love to do, give updates. Okay, so let's talk about the rest of the night and tomorrow and Friday, because this is springtime in Texas, and we we typically get only temporary breaks from severe weather. So, and we'll definitely get a temporary break tomorrow. Okay, so real quick, let's just go back to our storm and now in what is now eastern Dallas County. Looks like it's even ramped down a little bit more. So let's go to the hail layer. Yeah, so the red represents, if you go up to the red, that represents hail. But again, nothing big. And again, you have to remember too, the other thing to keep in mind is that this is the radar beam looking up at about 3,000 feet. So just because it shows hail in that height of the storm, it doesn't mean it's all reaching the ground. So that's something that to keep in mind too. But there is some hail in that storm. But again, nothing to write home about, which is a good thing. Oh, you're welcome, Misty. I love you. I'll do anything for you. Okay, so let's go back to the bigger picture. All right, so what can we expect the rest of the night? Because we all want to go to bed, right? So the good news is, and I did this at the beginning of the broadcast in the afternoon, the shading is from the Storm Prediction Center. The green is marginal risk, level 1 out of 5. Yellow, slight risk, 2 out of 5. And you can barely see it, but the orange enhanced, 3 out of 5. So that's, again, well south of Dallas-Fort Worth. Shonda College Station is just barely in the slight risk, so they're doing okay. So the upper level low that's responsible for all this has not moved through yet. So there is a slight chance of when that low moves through, we could see some more thunderstorms. Again, they would be elevated thunderstorms, and so it's something that's not a tornado threat by any means. But there's a small chance we could see some of that overnight. So I just want to show you a radar that's out here in northwest Oklahoma. Let's zoom in on that. So again, I'll put this in motion. This is actually the location of the upper level low, and you can see the spin on the radar. So that's exactly where it is. So it's moving more due east than we thought initially. So that may keep thunderstorms overnight north of us. I have to watch it. They tend to want to drift southeast sometimes. But right now, if we got some storms later tonight, which again is far from a guarantee, we would see them, in this area, and then they would track this way. Not a guarantee by any means, but if that upper level low interacts a little bit more with our atmosphere, we could see that. But probably not. But it could be. So just want to give you a heads up. And then once that low moves through, which would be overnight into the morning hours, then we're done with this particular episode. Now, having said that, so tomorrow might start out kind of cloudy. It's definitely going to be cooler than it's supposed to be this time of year. But I think the sun will come out, and it'll be a fairly nice afternoon. Friday, we have another cold front that's going to come through. Again, nothing terribly strong. However, this front that's going to move through overnight is not really going to what we call scour out moisture. In other words, get rid of it. It's not going to be bone dry or anything like that. So some of our moisture is going to hang around, and that's what's going to set the stage potentially for severe weather on Friday. So just something to keep in mind. We're going to have a cold front come through on Friday. A lot can change between now and then, but it's looking like, we could see some more severe thunderstorms. I don't think it'll be anything like today that we saw in central Texas, but we could. And as a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's see if we can pull that model up and see. Let's go with the North American model. I don't know if it goes out to Friday or not. Let's see. That one's still loading. It might. Let's see. Yeah, that's Friday. Okay. That's Friday at 5 o'clock. Let's zoom over here. Okay, 5 a.m. I should say. Let's see if they show anything. This model may not show a whole lot. Oh, here we go. All right. So that's Friday, make sure I got my days right. Yeah, that's Friday at 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock. I need to get out of the way here. 7, 8. That doesn't look good. 9. Oh, that doesn't look good either. 10. So I just show this. Just keep one thing in mind. This is a model that's 48 hours out. A lot can change, and it probably will change between now and then. However, again, like I like to do, is just want to make you aware that we do have another possibility of severe weather on Friday. So just think about that between now and then obviously I'll keep you updated. So anyway, just kind of want to talk about that. All right, so before we wrap it up here, let's go back to the radar. And we'll check one more time on our thunderstorm in Dallas County. And it's not looking too impressive, which is a good thing. Now, I will say this, though. This is what we may see for the next couple of hours. So we have a storm that's popping up just south of Oh, wow. Okay. That got interesting really fast. So, but again, it kind of just going to my point is that you're going to see in the atmosphere that we have right now. It's see what's the temperature in my house? 59. Matter of fact, let's just go to the. Matter of fact, before we do that, let's show the satellite picture. Again, I want to show you how this has evolved over time, and again, you can see these huge thunderstorm tops. I mean, as you can tell, the bright white clouds are very, very cold. And so you can see how massive these storms have gotten. So again, but as you can tell, most of the really bad weather's south and east of us. All right, let's go back to my house here. So like I said, it hadn't really changed a whole lot from 4 o'clock. Ironically, it was 59 degrees at 4 o'clock or 4:40 when I did my last update, and now it's 58. So it hasn't really changed a whole lot. But again, it's to illustrate a point that the temperature is still pretty cool. And of course, they're not going to get a whole lot warmer being we're at nighttime now. But again, so we have this cool, stable atmosphere, right at the surface where we are, of course. And that's going to help keep things from getting out of control between now and the time the cold front and the upper level low move through. So that's always important to know. However, the air right above, let me go back to the radar here. The air right above that layer, if you will, is still pretty unstable, as you can see, because we had this storm in southeast or eastern Dallas County. And we have this storm. I say storm. It's not. It doesn't have a whole lot of lightning with it, but they could really pop up anywhere between now and the front moves through and the upper level low moves through, which is pretty much overnight. So, again, not expecting anything severe, but, don't be shocked if you get woken up and, and heck, you might even see some small hail, but hopefully you won't. So, all right. So I don't see any more comments in the chat. So we got College Station covered, Shonda. We got East Texas covered, Misty. And I don't see any other requests. So I think that'll about wrap it up. All right, so let's just do one more look here, and we'll put this in motion. And you'll see the evolution of the storm in southeastern Dallas County, and then that's kind of going away, and then the storm again. That's, kind of don't know if I call it a storm, but that storm just south of Allen, could pop up and, who knows, it may provide some hail with it and it may pop back down just as quick. So we're just going to see that no matter where we are going to look at. So in summary, if you're just now watching, no severe weather, put a stop to this, no severe weather for Dallas-Fort Worth. And then we don't anticipate any severe weather overnight. Doesn't mean you wouldn't get woken up with thunder. It wouldn't mean you wouldn't get woken up with small hail, maybe up to nickel size. And then after that, the upper level low moves through. The front moves through, and we are done until Friday, at least right now, until Friday afternoon. And we'll have plenty of time or I'll have plenty of time, I guess, to analyze that and what we're dealing with. So, like I said, just keep it in. Don't be shocked if you get a storm tonight. But again, not expecting anything crazy. If for some reason that changes, which I don't anticipate it changing, but if it did, then I would be back on here giving you all the latest and greatest on what we're experiencing and how long it's going to last and all that good stuff, and why. At least the best I can tell why. Okay, well, thank y'all for watching. I really did appreciate it. And as always, I'm watching the weather so you don't have to. I don't think I'm going to have to watch much weather later this evening and overnight, but if I do, again, you'll be the first to know. I appreciate everybody. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions after I end the broadcast here in a second, just shoot me up on social media and I will answer those questions until I fall asleep, which unfortunately, as I get older, is sooner than it used to be. I appreciate everyone, and we will talk to you soon.